Hey, I'm Tim,
Hey, I'm David.
and we're Worth It Fridays.
Back at it again. What the nani?
Welcome to another episode of Worth It Fridays. Woo! Where today, this episode, we are going to go over the game, The Quarry.
The Quarry or Query?
I think it's The Quarry.
The Quarry, right? There you go. The Quarry. Ooh, spooky. Alrighty, so you guys may be wondering, what is the Quarry? Well, I don't know what it exactly is, but once you play this game, you'll find out what it is exactly. So, if you're all wondering, the Quarry is an interactive drama survival horror game. It's definitely very adventurous based on our experience here. The game was developed by Supermassive Game and published by 2K Games. So, Supermassive Game, so you guys know they made a bunch of games similar to it, like Until Dawn, Man of Medan, House of Ashes, Little Hope. Apparently, we don't talk about Little Hope. And then there's a new game based on this date of recording. There's a new one coming out. I think it's called The Devil in Me, or something like that. So, but other than that, yeah. So the core game is based on the platform of PlayStation 4, 5, PC, Xbox One, Xbox XS, and it was released on June 10, 2022. But Tim, what's the story like for this game?
So, it's late summer in the remote forest of upstate New York, and the teen counselors of Hackett's Quarry have the camp to themselves for one final night. That means no kids, no adults, and no rules. In this thrilling cinematic tale, you control the fate of all 9 camp counselors as their parties' plans unravel into the unpredictable night of horror. With life or death decisions around every turn, the choices you'll make determine how the story unfolds.
Pretty creepy, right?
Creepy.
Well, you may be wondering. Yeah, right? But you may be wondering, like, what does the game offer? Is it exactly like Until Dawn or the other games that Supermassive made? Well, there's a lot of similarities. Well, be sure we can determine that the game does offer quick time movements events, keyword movements, timed or timeless decision making, and the option to literally to do nothing. As well, the game does offer a movie mode. You may be wondering what that is. Well, it's literally you just watch the whole thing without any gameplay footage of doing anything. You just literally watch all the cutscene. No need to do anything. Just relax, buddy. As well as the game does offer like collectibles as Until Dawn did with the totems. So there's collectibles, there's secrets to find out throughout the games, and it has a great cast line. But I'm curious, Tim, is there any cast that you really are a fan of or really excited to see in this game?
Yeah, for sure. So there was Justice Smith. Justice Smith. Already messed up his name. He was the Detective Pikachu, so that was cool to see. Ariel Winter, also very famous. And I think our group's favorite was also just Brenda's song as well.
Yo, totally. Brenda's song is mad respect. So, yeah, so if you're curious, Ariel Winter is played as Abigail, as one of the characters, as well as Brenda's song plays Caitlin, who is our favorite character as the Worth It Friday fans here. And as well as Justin Smith as Ryan. I don't know how to say his name. Urzaler, I think.
Urzaler, yeah.
Yeah, so, but each of these characters is very unique and very, you can personalize with them, one of them for sure. So that's how great they are. So yeah. Oh, and our review was based on our PlayStation. Well, we played it on PlayStation 5, but we got it for PlayStation 4. So we're going to say the platform experience we played is pretty much a PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah.
So,
that's the
yeah,
most accurate description. So what are your thoughts on the story, Dave?
Well, I have to say, I'm trying to avoid spoilers for sure for you guys here who haven't played the game yet. The story is really great in my opinion. Supermassive Games really set the standard high from like what a good story is. And for me, what a good story is, it has character development. They have interests and mysteries of what's going on. So of course, this is a horror game. So they did very well at adding all the horror things, like, you know, those awkward silent moments or drama specifically to kind of get the tense experience for the players to play. As well as the soundtrack was really good. You know, classic horror style music, but really makes the gameplay experience really interesting. But we'll go into that more later. But like the story wise, I would say I think each character had very good screen times. I don't know if you agree, Tim, but some had a little bit more than others. But I think they did really well trying to balance each story, because, you know, there's always that one player like me where, can I play the one that's least screen time so I don't have a lowest chance to screw up everyone kind of progress of the game? But Supermassive didn't really do that for me. There's actually some characters that had pretty much well balanced of that. So yeah, so you got mystery, suspense, drama. There's going to be time and moments where you're going to hate the character for a specific reason. So but the story does well with any decision you make, and it still comes out as a great game. So, you know, it's really hard to make a story based on many different endings. But the fact that based on our gameplay, we played it multiple times, but both endings we got, a couple of endings we got, was still pretty satisfying based on how the story plots. So yeah, if you're looking for a good story, horror story style, there's a lot of mystery and twists. This is the game.
Although, for one thing, the character Laura, although most characters play about the same time, Laura is like very special in where she'll play a little bit and then not play for a while, and then you have a huge chunk.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, Laura. If you're wondering who Laura is, she's the one with the cap in front of the game cover, just right in the middle of the screen. I recommend, if you don't want to be like me, if you don't want to play a big role of the game, don't play her. Try not to spoil, but I'm just saying like, everyone has an important role, but Laura, she does something. She does something. I'll tell you that. She does something. What are your thoughts on the gameplay and the content, though, Tim?
Yeah, the gameplay and content. Now that like Supermassive has like, you know, like I think it's like 4 or 5 games now at this point. You know, now that also the Devil Within Me, or I think it's also what it's called, is also released as of this review. This one doesn't have a lot of gameplay. Like, these adventure games already don't have a lot of gameplay, which is, you can expect that, but like this one has even less than that. Like, it's kind of strange. Like, there's a lot more cutscenes, which makes it really immersive, like as a movie, which is nice as a viewer. But then when you get to these gameplay experiences, it's very little. Like, you make maybe like 1 or 2 choices, and then it's like another 5-minute cutscene, and it goes on like that. That's like pretty much like the pattern. Like, either like really long cutscenes, like short gameplay, or like, and then even with the gameplay, it's even more simpler than their previous games, which is surprising. Like, I just thought like maybe this was like an accessibility thing where it's just like, oh, like here's an easier option, but there's no way to go back to like having like your quick time events be like, oh, you have to press X, you have to press square, you have to press triangle. It's all like, you gotta move your joystick to the right, move to the left, up, down, maybe X here and there, but that was it. And then I was like, oh, okay. I mean,
it did throw us off, though.
It did.
Like, I thought the directional was the circle button.
yes, that's true. It was very confusing.
Yeah, it was very confusing, but
yeah. So there's you have your classic button mash, but then instead of like pressing like certain I guess buttons, it's all directionals, and then the new thing that they added was this kind of like holding your breath thing. So instead of having a rhythm game of you're holding your breath, it was then, how long can you hold your breath, and then like you have to like kind of let go, like you have to start breathing again at the right time, otherwise you could die essentially. But it wasn't just like as simple as like, oh, hold at the beginning, let go at the end. That was the coolest thing. It was actually like, oh, you could like kind of release here and you'd be fine. But even though like for some reason if you hold it for too long because you think it's not the end yet, they trick you, and then you're like, oh shoot, you let go, and then chaos happens. Like, yeah. So it was really nice. They really played around with that, at least. So that was a redeeming. Yeah. For the most part.
Yeah, exactly. Like, holding the breath I think it helps make the scene or the event like very intensively. But like you mentioned, Tim, like holding it too long will screw you over. Holding it too late or too early will screw you over too. So you gotta really have to find the fine balance. But I kind of like that because it's so simple, but it can just destroy whatever you're trying to plan to do. And stuff,
Yeah, that was a nice quality of gameplay that they put in. But the rest, they kind of simplified it, and that didn't really do anything else. So
it's kind of hard not to make a mistake. Unless you're our boy Dan. Sorry, Dan. Yeah, Dan just kind of panicked and yeah.
transitioning to the graphics, a part of our review. David, why don't you take that away?
So I was trying to compare it to like the last game we played before the Quarry was the House of Ashes. House of Ashes was pretty decent, like, oh, okay, let's just upgrade for sure. Because, you can see Ashley Tisdale. You can tell it's her. Ashley Tisdale for the win. But, man, the Quarry is really good. It's really enhanced. Like, the facial expression, the details of their face. You can really tell the emotions of each character during the events and stuff. Really, you can tell right away. And that's how I know the graphics is just amazing. Sometimes it's a bit too real. I don't know how it is on the PS4, or because we didn't play it on PS5 technically, but PS4 Pro. But based on the PS5 and from what I've read, it's really more enhanced on the environment itself. But other than that, like it was really good. I thought like it felt like I was watching a live action movie. That's how good it was. It's enjoyable. Like definitely an upgrade from the previous Supermassive game. So good job. You're maybe wondering like how much did we buy it for? I think we bought it on. Did we buy it on sale too?
I did buy it on a slight sale. It was like $20 off or something. It wasn't.
Yeah, $20 off.
We bought on sale, so that was worth. I mean, if you're a fan of these games, like, just buy it. It's a fun. It's honestly these are really fun like adventure games to play with friends or play alone or to play online as well. I know we don't touch much on the online aspect. But I know the online, if it's just two players, they have their own experience where you're both playing characters at the same time. So it's a really cool experience to play with someone or even just by yourself. So.
Now for criticism. I know we mentioned some stuff, but Tim, what are the criticisms that you know about this game?
Yes. Of course, the elephant in the room is of course the less gameplay. It just feels like it's nice to have those like nice cutscenes and stuff, but it's still a game, so it's like we want to play a little something to, like let us chase more. Like I don't know, press different buttons, not just move directionals and twos, or I don't know, at least have options for both. Would have been nice to have. It would have been nice to have like more accessibility options if needed. But I think having some of the old style gameplay of like press X, press circle, press triangle would have been still fun. With then at least appreciating still the new quality of gameplay that they're trying to bring. So which brings us to cutscenes, which then brings us to you can't skip those cutscenes. So if you want to replay the game to find different endings or save some lost people, you can't skip those cutscenes. So some of these cutscenes are pretty long, which is you want to skip, you just have to travel through another few hours to get to the point that you want again. So it's maybe they updated, maybe not, but we need to skip if we want to play again at least.
Yeah, like our gameplay was 8 hours, I think, around 8 hours to 9 hours, depending which ending you get. So if you beat it and you want to play it again, you got to commit another like 8 hours or 9 hours to it. So it's kind of daunting to hear about that.
And some of the tarot cards were kind of hard to find. Like maybe that's the skill issue, that we had in our group. We're just like, because we kept getting roasted by the lady that you'll run into if you guys play it, and it's just like, you guys are missing cards, and we're like, there's cards. We looked everywhere, I swear.
It's so funny. It's like I think we screwed up the tutorial so bad, where the tutorial literally like there's tarot cards to find. We're like, okay, and in like a couple of hours we still haven't found any, and we're like, I think think we screwed up, guys.
It's either they're just kind of like hinting that there's tarot cards and we gotta look out for them, or we just didn't find any at all. Or I mean, we found some, but I mean, like after they kept like roasting us. So.
Yeah. For those who don't know, tarot cards are essentially like totems from Until Dawn. You pick a card, you find the card, it'll kind of give you a hint of the future, what could happen. So yeah, we couldn't find those, so we completely played, I think, the first 3 hours blindly, so which was fun.
Which then, I guess, comes to our final score.
We're at Worth It Friday. We score this game as 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. It's good, but not too good. Like we mentioned before, like the game is great for its story. The graphics is way better. It just felt like a more cinematic experience than more game of a game itself. Like for example, our friend Doug, he completely passed out while we're playing this game. So you can see like there's a lot of more screen time than gameplay time. So we rated it as 7 out of 10. And yeah.
It's still a solid game, honestly. So I mean, 7 is like, for us, that's a solid game. So you can't go wrong, but I mean, there's definitely room for improvement still, but it is what it is.
It's what it is.
So I guess that's our review of The Quarry. And honestly, it's an enjoyable experience. If you haven't played it yet, you should, I guess, wait for a sale. If you are, of course, a fan already, you probably already played this. It's been like, how long now? Like a month at least, or 2 months? Yeah, or something.
Since June.
Sorry. So you've probably already played it, if not. But if you haven't picked up yet, if you're on the fence, just wait for a sale. It's no problem. But you definitely can't go wrong with picking up a game like this, whether you play alone or with players, or other players, other friends. It's a fun time.
Well, if you enjoy our video, please definitely click the like button. Like bar, man, that's going old school. But like, click the like button or the thumbs up button if you really enjoyed the video. It helps us get some nice feedback of saying, hey, we're doing something that's entertaining for you guys, and just getting the information out there. Definitely leave a comment if you tell us what your thoughts when you're playing the core. Do you think it's worth paying the full price, or do you think the gameplay was good? Let us know. We're curious to see, and definitely subscribe for more to our channel, so we can get updates, and we'll try to do our best to make more videos. But if you really want to be 100% sure when we upload these videos, click the notification bell button, and then you're good as gold there, so you know when there. We definitely have an Instagram page and a Facebook page if you're just casually scrolling, you want to know updates. But they're on YouTube, we have that there. Essentially, we just leave a link there for you to click to our YouTube channel as our main source of platforms, YouTube. So, but yeah, you can definitely follow us up to show more support to us there. And yeah, thank you again so much for being patient with us and enjoying our videos. Well, until next time then.
Until next time.
Bye!
Yeah.
See ya!